Stathopoulos and Josh Phegan come together in an incredible podcast, Grow, Scale, Master.
An energetic approach to drive progress, master skills, build strengths and put the strategy back into rapid business and personal success.
Backed by real-world experience in rapid scaling to playing the long-term game of business, it's the story of all the lessons learned on the journey to mastery.
Be inspired, renew your energy and chase the future with Grow, Scale, Master.
Con, this is probably the most exciting time of the year. As you close out 25 and you get to 26, there's this great opportunity to reflect on what's actually happened and project into the future. And today is all about new horizons.
Woo!
And I love that level of energy that you bring to the game. So, this is interesting. Someone said to me the other day, how do you make sure that you stay really relevant and stay on top of where things are at? I said, I learned very, very early that you should try to travel as much as you can around the world.
Yep.
And then bring the best of those items back into your world to nourish it. A lot of the opportunities are actually hidden in plain sight exactly where you are. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, you're absolutely right. The only way that you're going to grow is by exploring, being kind of, that curious mind around learning and development, looking at other industries, people, learning from, I guess, experience is probably the best way to kind of broaden those horizons.
And this is a great conversation that literally, if you think about where the biggest opportunities are, what you accept is your standard.
Yes.
And so if you've been in a position that you've accepted procrastination, boredom, uncertainty, insecurity, doubt, fear, worrying about competitors.
Have you been reading my journal?
No. But just going through chaos.
Yeah, you're right.
Letting those things actually happen, then ultimately you're not really thinking about, what you could go to create. So a simple little exercise that, Kylie gets me to do in the business, and maybe we do it circa once a month, is I literally just have to write out a list where I have to do a time and motion study for a week. And every single time I find myself doing something that I shouldn't be doing, I've got to write it down.
Right.
And then off the back of that, we've got to work out whether or not it can be automated, whether or not there can be a new system that we put in play, or whether or not someone else in the team might be able to do that particular function.
Sure.
And it's really like skinning the onion back to what really allows you to be your absolute best. And one of the things I was showing someone the other day, that if you believe in the lifetime value of a customer, the best thing that you could do is have a list of your top 100 customers on your phone.
Yeah.
So I went in and I did a bit of research on it, and you can pull out of your CRM, for example, a CSV file. You can change that to a V card format just using Claude or ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Say, here's a CSV, please change into V card. And then when you go into iCloud, you can then literally go create add list, and then you can just go press plus, and then it can suck in those 100 contacts straight away.
And then you can filter via your top 100 very quickly.
And so then what I'm thinking about is that okay, great, I've got people that I've worked with that I might be really on the ground and present with when I'm in London, or really on the ground and present with when I'm in New Zealand. But when I'm in Australia, I don't necessarily think about them because of the time zone difference and how do I go to be more, in that zone. So what would actually happen if I just had top 100 clients New Zealand, top 100 clients London, top 100 clients New South Wales, and then made that decision that, hey, you get a spare couple of minutes, you can literally go into that list and just start dialing.
Yeah.
Think about implications like suppliers, past clients for January, February, March, April, May, June, December, just literally sitting on your phone, so that then every spare couple of minutes that you've got when you're in work mode, you can be super productive. And I think that the lesson is that when you think about a new horizon, it's about what great work would significantly provide me the greatest leverage inside of the business.
Yeah.
So if you had to look at your very best landlords, you get the opportunity to be able to work with some developers. Even if you have a look at key people that you've got on your chase list that you're looking at a recruitment level, it's endless about how strategic you could get to significantly shift the dial on performance in business and life, right?
So then I think the key there though is that we actually have to take time to pause, step back, step up, and kind of look at the business at a macro level, not so much in the business. And I think this is a really good time of the year, particularly, we had our open homes yesterday. We had 197 open homes. We had literally 2/3 of the volume we had the week before. The week before that, we had 2/3 of the week before, and so on. So things are kind of starting to descend. Now's the time to be able to look at it and start forward planning for 2026 and building these processes and systems to be able to enable you to have these types of conversations.
And I just love that, chasing greatness to be able to go and leverage manage relationships.
Yeah.
And so, we had this unbelievable story where, we've got this customer who's down in Canberra, and what they did is that they said, okay, great, we're going to get on the phone. This was about 3 weeks ago. And what they're going to do is that they cottoned on this little thing that I inadvertently said, which was don't leave people at the salt sticker.
Yeah.
So they've
Orphans.
got
Orphans.
I don't know if they're quite that level yet, but the basic idea is that we got a list of every person who has bought from them this year and every person that has sold with them this year. So they've done circa 40 transactions, so it's like 80 phone calls. Yeah. So they got on the phone and they just rang every single one. They're like, oh, hey, Con, it's Josh. Just want to say thanks very much for allowing me the opportunity to be able to sell Ash Street for you. If ever I can help you in the future, I'd be thrilled if you thought of me. Hey, Emily, it's Josh. I thought I'd say thanks for allowing me the opportunity to sell you James Street. Thanks for the opportunity to be able to go and serve. And they didn't try to push for an appraisal or do anything extra. They just said thanks. Anyway, we go 3 weeks down the track. They picked up 3 listings from that.
Yeah.
And it's not from those people per se,
no,
but it's from the referrals that they've been out there giving in market. They're at the Christmas parties. They're at the work functions. They're saying, hey, talk to these people. And I just think that now imagine the impact of doing that every year compounded over 10 years. That's significant, right?
Josh, it's simple. It's so simple, but it's not easy. So the thing is about this is a human-to-human contact. I don't want to call it a sport, but a business.
Yeah.
Okay. So the person that connects with more people, builds relationships, starts with one conversation, and it's all coming from a place of service. So, hey, Josh, it's Con. Thank you so much for allowing me the privilege to sell your home. I really enjoyed that experience. I hope you're enjoying where you've moved to now. I just thought to check in, say good day, make sure that everything's okay. Is there anything that I can do to help? By the way, are there any people in your network that I'd be able to help? Friends, family, neighbours, anyone that might be top of mind that might want some information around buying, selling, leasing or renting.
And they're like feel-good calls.
They're great calls. They're awesome calls. But it's also, have you heard that analogy of painting the Harbour Bridge? The Sydney Harbour Bridge.
No, I haven't. Okay. What do they do?
So when they start painting the Sydney Harbour Bridge, by the time they finish, they have to start again.
Yes.
This is exactly the time when you do that A to Z, those top buyers, the top sellers, or all your buyers and sellers, your pipeline sellers, your key centres of influence, the key referrers. These are the happy calls. Spend the next 2 or 3 weeks making happy calls, recharge, reset, ask for, just the ability to be able to act in a service way. And then all you need to do is just get ready for 2026.
So I love this because it's also about like going all in on systems and people and infrastructure.
100%.
And sometimes I find that the thinking is limited. So let's say, for example, someone did 20 and next year they want to do 22 deals. You're not really going to have to do too much. You're going to tweak your way there. It's like a little bit layered. Maybe I get lucky. Maybe I make an extra call session a week. But if you said to me, okay, great, Con, I'm at 20 transactions. I now want to go to 200.
Yeah.
Then everything foundationally changes. Correct. And the reason why that does it, like, Jesus, to do 200 transactions, I need someone else I need 2 other people in my team that can actually list. Because if all 3 of us have got 7 opens on a Saturday, that's 21 opens, times up by 10, it's 210 opens, sell 200. So, wow, I'm going to need to make sure I've got a full-time head of operations. Is my marketplace big enough for my aspirations? Like, I got to start really chasing, and then, well, geez, if I'm going to have a team, I'm going to need to be structured about what we do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. Monday buys, Tuesday sellers, Wednesday listing review, every day daily directions meeting, every afternoon 3 p.m. loop back. And so what I want you to really think about is, as you come into this year, like, what are the systems in your business that are foundationally broken that you need to reimagine? And then ultimately, what do you need to do in order to be able to get your people to be able to perform at a much higher level? So is it structure? Is it discipline? Is it energy? Is it growth? Is it moving them into a new role? So that then all of a sudden it just doesn't stay stagnant. And then all of a sudden at an infrastructure level, there's a lot of chat about AI, but are there any very specific things that you should be putting into your business where you go, hey, that's just, it's slow, it's clunky, we can make that better and faster as a part of that.
Isn't that as just simple right now as taking that time to reflect and say what worked, what didn't?
Yeah.
What do I need to... Remember a couple of episodes ago we spoke about MEDDIC?
Yes.
Maintain, eliminate, decrease, increase, and create.
Look at you. You've remembered that.
I did because
and you didn't even write it down.
I know, because it actually resonated with me.
Yes. Now so you say the rest, doesn't it?
Well, everything else, guys. I mean, hopefully there's going to still listen. But think about it. What do I need to maintain right now? What do I need to eliminate in 2026?
Yes.
What do I need to decrease?
Yeah.
What do I need to increase? What do I need to create? Great set of foundation questions to be asking yourself right now.
So, Con, it's also to like living life by design. And you see that literally sometimes people go through some significant events. And there's a fair chance that, some people that are listening to the podcast this year have maybe gone through one or two things that have not necessarily were on the radar at the start of the year that ended up happening.
Yep.
And sometimes they're really good and sometimes they're, they kind of might be feeling a little bit lost. And you kind of come into this Christmas, New Year period. And for some people, that's a really happy time. For some people, it's a very challenging time because of family circumstances. I always just think that this is a really good month to really drill back in on, just thinking about really good quality music playlists, having a great list of things that you can go and do.
Love it.
Starting to think about
books that you can read.
Yeah. And it's, what I learned is that a lot of people just don't spend that time. And, you're going to laugh at me because I wrote down a list on what I go to call my slow zone over the course of this next bit, which is, get on the motorbike more, read more, go for good walks, go for good runs, go for good swims, go and do some good workouts, write a little bit more, play a little bit more, spend some more time by the pool, ring con, it's on my list.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Slow list, yeah?
Slow list. So in other words, because you're so structured from Monday to Friday for circa 46 weeks of the year, I also want a bit of structure in that time off so it's not just wasted on Netflix and chill. And that's okay if that's 1 or 2 nights, but really getting clear about the things that you actually want.
Love it.
So the slow list is a big one for me.
Experiences that rapidly shaped you.
I'm kind of like this whole idea that, what I learned, and you might not realize this, but when I was much younger, when I was in year 10, Win TV, which was Channel 9.
Still there, isn't it?
Yeah. They actually had a newsreader of the year competition, which was a weird thing. And you could go in and they filmed it in the center of the shopping center and 4 different people would come to read the news and then you could then win a couple of prizes and stuff. And I just remember that literally they put us into this back room and I remember walking out and I kind of I jumped up to touch the seal of the door on my way out, thinking I was Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan of my era, which was a big jump for me to get to that. And so the interesting thing is that literally I went out there, it was the newsreader of the year, won the competition, and it was a really good thing for learning for experiences of later on. And I just remember that if you have more fun with it, you win more. If you enjoy it more, you ultimately become more. And that's that whole thing is that learn to have fun, with the things that are sitting inside of your own world.
Yeah, I subscribe to this newsletter. I don't even know how. It's not yours, but I have yours every day.
Yeah.
By the way, last week was a banger. All yours. I think it's called Colby. The guy's called Colby. It's 1% better.
Yes.
And he spoke about the Harada method.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that?
No, what's that?
Essentially, Ahani, the baseball plays, like the Michael Jordan of the Major League Baseball, right?
Yeah.
And he showed actually his Harada chart. So think of a box in the middle of your ultimate BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yeah.
Right? And then all the things that you would need to do. So think of it like almost Sudoku. There's a box in the middle, box in the top left, bottom right, top right, and on either side. And it's the things that you would need to do. And then one of those connects to, hypothetically, body, mind, spirit, performance, whatever it might be. I thought it was a really good mind mapping exercise, and we're doing it right now in our business, and it's been really interesting to see what it generates.
Yeah, and I think the whole conversation there is that, giving yourself some unbelievable, thinking exercises that gets you to kind of challenge some of the assumptions so then you can go and play at a much higher level.
Something that's changing your view.
For me, it's about quick routine shifters. And so I think that the lesson here is that, what can you do to actually make your routines more powerful? And I kind of love that whole idea, Gilbert Anaka, that whole conversation of him saying, at the start of every day, just visualize the day.
Yeah.
Starting to think about what apps that you might be able to use. I got onto Othership.
What's that?
It's a little breathing one that I do.
Yeah. Okay.
A little fire up in the morning, a little cool down in the evening.
Cool.
So just doing different things that, kind of help your routines to be more powerful. And there's an old school thing that, it's what you do when things are quiet that makes all the difference when things get busy. So just the preparation, everything's washed on Friday night, make sure the house is fully at presentation standard by Saturday morning. Just that little stuff then just makes Monday to Friday super easy.
It does.
Fill my car with petrol.
Yeah, I did that today. I did that because you said that. See,
yes.
I'm a very good student, Josh.
This is good, mate. Well, you actually teach me more, but it's that basic idea. Well, what's a quick little routine shifter that you're using that's allowing you to be more powerful inside of the business?
You know what? For me, it's been CrossFit, back to CrossFit. So I've got a gym at home, and we've got the guys, from our office and our team that come on a Friday morning. And for me, it's been getting back into the really simple thing of not being in control. So I'm not building the workout of the day. I've got nothing to do except focus in that moment. I've got 1 hour. I know it's going to be uncomfortable, and I'm leaning into that discomfort. And it's really been a joy. And this is going to be mind blowing and obviously groundbreaking, but when you exercise, you feel really good after.
No, really?
Yeah. Like, I think I might do a clinical study or something on that. It's just a strange thing.
It's called that you're not, but there's also other people around you. And so what I'd say to you is that, like, sometimes the biggest thing is like having a sense of community.
Spot on.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
It's I'm meeting new people. I got invited to the Christmas party today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you going?
Yeah, I will go. I'll go after the opens and auctions next Saturday. But you're right. It's a sense of community. It's a sense of leaning into the discomfort.
Yeah.
It's a sense of, hey, I'm nowhere near as fit as what I used to be. So rather than avoiding that, let's actually, get into that. And it's also learning some new skills, being completely disconnected, out of control in a positive way. And it's amazing what it does.
So, Con, we just got to say thanks for an incredible year.
Yeah, thank you,
on the podcast.
mate.
This has been an amazing 25.
It has.
Mate, I can't wait for us to get back in for 2026 January.
Huge.
Have a great holiday season.
You too,
and look
my
forward
friend.
to seeing you next year.
Thanks, Joshy.